So I'm thinking CrossWorlds, we're gonna see the movie universe, the Prime universe. Is that Shinobi? What a jump scare. I know from a leak that we're gonna see secret rings, so we're probably also gonna see Black Knight, which really fits with the whole alternate dimension theme. The thing is, I don't know how crazy they're willing to get. I don't think they are willing to get crazy. I think it's going to stay within the confines of canon, Prime, and the movies, and essentially, and apparently Prime is supposed to be canon. Hey man, as long as I can get Captain Dread as a playable character in the game, I'm eating good. They did that for me specifically. I hope that game has an actual story too, similar to Riders. It doesn't have the same stakes as Riders, but like, I want a proper story. I want a reason for me as a longtime fan to be invested in that. Is this Foam Stars? Wait, what? No, this is CrossWorlds. Who do we got? Jet on the extreme gear. So that was a, ooh, they got Sage. Whoa, Sage is making a playable appearance. That's good. That's cool. And yeah, Jet's using his extreme gear. It's a really good prediction. God, I love that they're using trick animations similar to Generations. I like how Generations would do them. Okay, where are we going? Visually, it looks pretty good. Dino Jungle. Yeah, nothing is sacred anymore. Everything gets spoiled. Crazy seeing this place with more detail since that was locked to the Wii before. Oh, that almost looked like the Cyber effect from Frontiers. He does get to use the extreme gear! Oh my god, not just Jet! And they got the red star rings as well. Is that Metal Harbor? Yo, they got the remix? Yeah, of course. Wow, interesting how much Secret Ring stuff they're wanting to go into detail with. Oh, they're bringing back Wisps again. That's interesting. They got the transformed mechanics. It's interesting that they're not willing to show us too much of the extreme gear. That's so sick, dude. Looks like they have brand new original tracks as well with the Chow Park. It's interesting that they're using the warp rings as such an important little mechanic. Knuckles looks so cool there. Why has he got that giant ass weapon? It's so cool that they're willing to use the warp rings, because I've only really seen them use the warp rings regularly in spin-off media like the movies and the Archie comics and Sad AM. Those are the only places the warp rings really had any relevance outside of the classic games, which used them as the special zone portals. So it's really cool seeing them make an appearance in, you know, Sonic Frontiers DLC, Shadow Generations DLC, and being such a big part of CrossWorlds. A really big thing I want to see out of CrossWorlds is alternate skins. I want lots of customization with the characters. I want incentive to play over and over and grind like I already do in Sonic Rumble. I want it to have purpose in being a multiplayer game. I want it to fit the standards and expectations of a modern online game today. I want a reason to keep grinding other than just beating my friends. I want good quality online because I know that Sonic Racing Transformed and Team Sonic Racing had really unstable games, especially on PC. I remember it was crashing all the time or the connection would freeze. It's almost crazy seeing a spin-off racing game for a mascot title that isn't Mario with the quality of Hedgehog Engine 2's models. One of the really good details that they had in TSR was all of the voice lines, and I just think in the current age of Sonic, we really love the writing, we really love the character interactions, so again, on top of the story, please give us really good interactions between people. Oh wow, that's interesting. Oh, look at those references. They're in-universe referencing the events of Kronos and Chaos, as well as Dompa, Planet Dompa from Team Sonic Racing. It's fun that they're not forgetting about the racing game that just happened before this. And I also really like that they are commodifying the lore from Sonic Forces and IDW by having all these background characters follow the design trope of NPCs in Sonic Forces just being generic Mobians. I think that's fun. It's a very small thing, but I think it's fun. So the only new character that we've seen here is Sage. Ooh, I really like that Eggman gets to drive his drill machine from the first Sonic 2 boss. I was actually just reading one of the Eggman arcs in Sonic Universe where he uses that as one of his main weapons. I actually really like, too, that they use Sonic, Shadow, Knuckles, and Amy's vehicles from the All-Stars racing games because they're such iconic kart designs by now. So sick that they're just willing to let us use the extreme gear. Like, they're not fully committing to a brand new Riders game, but they're like, yeah, you know what, like that was a pretty big part of Sonic Racing's identity. Let's just make it an optional thing. Similar to how Mario Kart has bikes and karts. You can customize that. Also, look at Sonic's quills here. They're actually moving with the wind. They're getting blown with the physics. That's cool. I'm very interested to know like what models they're using for this. It looks like that Sonic actually has the shorter quills that he uses in Frontiers, but he's got the color of Generations. It's a lot darker and more purpley in the blue. I love that Knuckles has like special animations for what he's doing. Wait a second. Wait, this one frame of Knuckles almost looks like Rio Knuckles more so than Frontiers Knuckles. But that's just one frame, I could be wrong. Oh, Knuckles looks so cool. I love that you can see just how round and geometric his head is when his quills are just layering in the air. Every character's got brand new animations. They look so pretty. It's great. We don't see her as a playable character in the trailer, but there is Art of Rouge in the back, which I mean, I honestly, with this game, I fully expect them to use pretty much every standard character in the main cast. Like everyone that we know from Heroes and Forces, games with big casts, they're probably going to be playable in this, including Espio and Charmy, hopefully. I like that Sonic physically holds his power up there. Dude, this is so cool seeing Metal Harbor as well, because you would never get such blatant referencing and acknowledgement of anything from the adventure era in a 2010s game. So it's just nice to know that they're really smartening up and thinking about things a bit more critically. That's interesting too. Is that like a King Wisp? What is Big holding? Big and Vector in the same frame. The Wisps look really cool in this, by the way. Easily cleared their appearance in Team Sonic Racing, that's for sure. The animation quality is so good. Look at it. Look at how cool Metal is in the back, dude. Chow Park. Like, I'm not mistaken, that's a new stage, right? Man, it'd be really cool if we saw some locations from the handheld games as well. Yeah, look at that. Charmy, Espio, Wave, and Storm. Confirmed. See Blaze. Zavok? Zavok's playable. Good to know. I was getting worried for a second. Who's the orange guy next to Zavok? I can't really tell. Kind of just looks like an egg pawn. I think it's funny that even with all this visual polish and upgrades that they're doing for the characters, they're still using the really classic renders for all the characters in-game. And it's such big news too that we don't just play as Jet on the Extreme Gear, we also get to play as Sonic on the Extreme Gear, which implies to me, hopefully, that every other character also gets to use Extreme Gear. And in addition to that, maybe we do get alternate costumes and we can see writers' designs for all of them in an HD game that uses the canon art style as opposed to Sonic Rumble that has a chibi art style but still lets us play as the writers' designs. Also, can I just talk about how good the colors are here? Like, looking at a modern Jet render next to the goddamn T-Rex from Secret Rings, like, come on, that's sick. And also, I just love that Shadow's got the big Toad from Mario movie fuck-off monster truck here. Again, confirming that we get multiple vehicles. It's also a very interesting implication that they have advertisements for Chaos and Chronos up there. It is probably just flavor, but obviously this does take place after Frontiers, and I just think it's really interesting the implication of them widely advertising these really ancient historic islands that were previously unseen by the world after, you know, experiencing that. It's really interesting to me that they got away with only showing one brand new character, which is Sage, and I'm happy already. I will say, my number one biggest hope for a character is probably either Tangle or Surge, you know, within the confines of what is realistic. Now, Sonic gets the monster truck too, which implies to me that everybody can use the same vehicle types, maybe? Aside from maybe an exclusive vehicle type that only they get on default. I think it's really interesting too that they are only showing the same few characters over and over, because I know damn well this isn't the whole roster. Like, there are some characters not pictured like Rouge, Wave, and Storm, but there's gotta be more than that. Like, that's just the thing that I'm number one looking forward to, is to see who they want to include and give a voice that maybe previously didn't have one. Cough cup, nudge nudge. So funny thing, if we actually look at Steam and we type Sonic Racing, you can already see it next to Team Sonic Racing, but if you type a little bit more, it disappears. It's a little shy. I think it's kind of cool actually, because now you have Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, Team Sonic Racing, and then Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. All we need now is Sonic R, Sonic Drift, and Sonic Riders games all on this platform, and then we have them all in one place. So we got some new screenshots here, a bigger, better, closer look at the Dino from Dino Jungle. I love that they keep his color so saturated like it was on the Wii. Probably not as saturated as it was on the Wii, because that was just the era we were in, but man, and like the reflection off of the swampy puddle on the ground. Oh, dude. I was just playing Project Reignition a few months ago, thinking to myself how gorgeous it looks with the upscaled, smoothed out edges without all the polygons and stuff. And don't get me wrong, seeing low resolution on a CRT TV still looks pretty to this day, but I was thinking to myself, man, like, you never see an environment like this in a modern Sonic game, especially the boost games. Unleashed was really the only game where they loved putting you in nature. Oh, look at that. He's doing the in the back. That's so cool. And by the way, these models really do look like the Olympics models. I don't know if it's Rio specifically, but like the quill length, the face shape, he's so round. He's got the middle mouth. It's interesting that they really like using these models for the spin-off games, yet not the modern games. Oh, dude, look at that! They even got the ghosts from Sonic Adventure 2 on the pirate ship from Secret Rings. I'm not gonna lie, some of these tracks look really similar to All-Stars Racing. Like, there is an All-Stars Racing track that looks just like this with the poker chips and everything. But I really hope this is a specific reference to, like, Heroes or something, instead of just a generic place. It kind of looks like it with the 8 ball in the back there. Oh my god, Zaz is a playable character? Why? What? Like, why? I wonder if it's gonna be a weird situation with Force's Speed Battle where they only have, like, the most recognizable Zeddy. You know, Zavok, Zaz, Xena, but they don't have Zomom, Zor, or Zeke. Yes, I know their names. Well, that's so weird that they would put Zaz in the game, bro. If Zaz gets in the game, but I can't play as Infinite, we're gonna have some issues. I don't actually recognize the location in this image, which might make me a little bit of a fraud. I literally cannot think of where this is. It's got the hot air balloons in the background, which make me think of an early 2000s game like Rush or Unleashed, but it doesn't really look like those locations. Wow, what? We're using Shadow's White Space hub as a track? Is that what that is? Or maybe that's Water Palace? Yes, I was actually correct. This is Water Palace. I went in and translated what it says on the Japanese website, and here you go. Of course, you got Metal Harbor from SA2. I love the sheer range of Sonic poses that he has. See, another interesting thing about Metal Harbor is that it looks like the Afterburner stage from All-Stars Racing Transformed as well. It's very deceitful in that way. Race across land, sea, air, space, and time in Racing CrossWorlds. The fact that they even say time makes me think that we could get Infinite, even though he's, like, canonically dead. Oh my god, it's got cross-platform multiplayer. You have no idea how huge that is for a party game nowadays. Oh my god! That's going to keep the game alive, actually. Now, before you get excited like I did, someone pointed out to me that Sonic Superstars also has a tag for cross-platform play, and what this really just meant was that Steam had cross-play with Epic Games Store, not necessarily every console. That being said, I still do really hope they add this. Because think about it, even the most dead games probably have at least 20 to 50 people from every platform trying to queue up combined, right? But when they are separated into their own platforms, it's probably like 12 per platform, and it makes it hard to queue up when a game is dead. Which is another reason why I would love to see recurring character DLC and skin DLC in this game, or just like regular content updates so that we don't have to worry about it dying, but the fact that we have the player base from every platform available is really promising to me. Especially, you gotta consider this game is probably gonna be on the Switch too. It's gonna have Steam leaderboards as well. That's not a thing that you usually see in modern day multiplayer games. It may sound minor, but Steam leaderboards are a pretty big driving force for certain competitive games. Like if I look at Rivals of Aether 2, this is a fighting game where people are constantly fighting for the #1 place on the leaderboard. And you can see everyone's profile and all their stats just right here, and people love sweating over this, dude. It may not be your way to play, but some people are really into it, and I love watching it, what can I say? Think about what we could see with CrossWorlds and speedrunners. I'm also really curious with the leaderboard to see if this is just going to be IL times like it is in Sonic Forces and Sonic X Shadow Generations, or if this is going to be an ELO system similar to fighting games. And in addition to that, they do actually have ranking tiers online. It goes all the way up to Legend, just like a fighting game would with Master Rank. Anyways, stop being cowards, give us Captain Dread. That's all I have to say. And just as I was editing this, on the website they show that if you get the deluxe edition, you do actually get Sonic Prime characters as DLC. I really hope they don't take the easy route and just go with Renegade Knucks. I hope they give us Knuckles the Dread, because I mean, come on, that would be the only character I can play.